Hello and welcome to today's edition of the National Vibe right here on ADZoone TV. My name is Nanaya Charles. You can call me NYC for short, and I am your lovely host. And so today we're talking about something very interesting. Today we're going to uncover the unsung heroes who shapes the future of our nation. But before we dive into that, I want to remind you that this program is proudly brought to you by FekaTek Ventures. At FekaTek Ventures, we say we are here to serve. DAYSTYLLE Fashion, we say every day in style. And we have Believe Concept, we say we are your design solutions. And we have BUILDAXIS, where all your building materials and everything land is no problem, but a very small thing. And so today we'll dive into a very powerful yet overlooked topic where teachers are seen, or teachers as a silent nation builders. They are the people behind, the leaders, the people behind every other person we see, every great man we see, the other people behind. And so today, to help me do this discussion, to help me dissect this topic, teachers are silent nation builders, we have this amazing guest in our midst, and she goes by the name Mrs. Munirat Hassan Bentil. She's a teacher, she's an entrepreneur, and she was the former vice president for TAG, Teacher Trainee Association Ghana, for Western and the Central region. Also, the former Nation UCOM for Teachers Trainee Association Ghana. Mrs. Munirat, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Charles.
Great. Thank you for being here. I'm glad to have you on board.
Thank you very much. I'm also privileged to be here.
Great one. And so, Mrs. Munirat, today we're talking about teachers as, unsung heroes. Teachers do a lot of things that they are not recognized.
Exactly.
From childhood to, adulthood. They do a lot of things, but it looks like people don't see them. If you put 10 children and we ask them, what do you want to become in the future? Out of 10, there wouldn't be like 3 who would say they want to be teachers. And it's true.
It's very true.
It's very true. And so today we're going to talk about teachers. We're going to dive straight into what teachers do, because people don't see the value of teachers as at this point, but we know, and there are heroes that we don't talk about, heroes that we don't see, because behind the president is a teacher, behind the doctor is a teacher, behind the soldier and every other person is a teacher, whether formal or informal. And so today, my first question to you is that many people see teachers as just classroom workers. In your view, or what makes teachers nation builders?
Well, thank you very much. A warm greetings to your viewers out there. A teacher is not just somebody who is limited to the classroom.
Okay.
We go way beyond the classroom. That is, we term, or we are seen as a knowledge impactor. Okay. Wherever we are, we impact knowledge.
That's right.
Wherever we are present, there is a knowledge impaction over there.
Great.
So a teacher is not limited to the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at our environment, a teacher impacts knowledge into the learners. That is, when we are delivering a lesson for everybody or for anyone to be whoever he or she is today, should give thanks to a teacher, because behind him or her is a great teacher. And I always say thank you to my teachers who taught me, fed me as at kindergarten too.
Great.
Yes. So a teacher, as we are discussing, we go beyond and then we impact in the national progress. That is, when we look at our human capital, a teacher built into the learner's competencies, critical thinking, a learner to be able to think critically when it comes to things around him, or create ideas, innovative ideas. That is what a teacher basically does. Aside that, we instill extracurricular activities as the discipline level, the ethical levels, the tolerance level, cultural values. Yeah.
Great. So I think with that being said, it brings me to my next question: that do teachers contribute to a country's development beyond academics?
That is very true. That is very true.
How true is that? Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Yes. As I was saying, when it comes to a country's development, for a country to be developed, it needs international aid or international relationship. And with that, it's being laid on the national values. That is when it comes to the political or the policies of the state, the nation's policies, and then also when it comes to the national values, you talk about the fundamental beliefs of the country, the ideals that the nation holds, then also the importance of the worth of its citizens promoting the nation. So that is, we talk about the country's policies, culture, and the diverse ways of which it moves or it holds in. That is why we say we don't only limit ourselves to the classroom, but we also go ahead to the cultural values and tolerance. As I'm saying, I can be a northerner and then be teaching in the southern sector of the country. And with that, I don't only talk about the classroom activities, but I also instill into the learners that is the cultural values of the community we are in. That is when it comes to the southern sectors, we also inculcate in the learners the extracurricular activities, talks about the ethnicities, the tolerance level, and then having them know the diverse ways of other ethnic groups.
So that means that the extracurricular activities is not really based on academics. Like it's something to open the children's mind to some things, as in things that are not really in the book, but some things that they need to know growing up.
Yes, that will help their daily upbringing or daily life.
So in other words, teachers go beyond the academics to teach the children some moral values and stuff like that from what you were saying. Great. Okay, so now being a teacher, like I was saying, that when we take 10 children and we ask of them what you want to be in future, I mean, you just have like maybe just one person saying I want to be a teacher. And mostly when you go even deeper, it's because they like their teachers. That's why they also want. Yes, I mean, I want to ask this: what is the biggest challenge teachers face today that the public often overlook? Because I've heard that teachers go through a lot. And so what are often, the challenges they face today that are often overlooked by the public? Can you pinpoint some to us?
Yes, as you were saying, that out of 10, just a person would be glad to say, I want to be a teacher in future. Which that, I would say, teaching as a profession is a very, very, very hectic job, I tell you. Yeah. Having a class, even you having one child in the house.
You see?
How it is very...
it's hectic.
How it's very hectic to, manage your child. Yeah. And then one teacher, having like 10, 15, not talking about a large class, but a teacher having maximum of 10. In our curricular activities now, a teacher is limited to, let me say, 25 students in a class. But if the class should be more than 25, then it is advisable to get more than 2 teachers. So you asked of the challenges that the teachers face.
Yes.
First of all, the major challenge we face are the resources. We have very, very, very limited resource. Of that there should be abundant, or we should be abreast with whatever we are teaching. Even if we are, where are the resources we are going to use in impacting this knowledge and then the competencies they've laid out for us to look out when delivering a lesson.
Okay, so your greatest challenge are resources. So speaking of resources, what are the resources you think should be provided for that are not being provided for as of now? Yeah. When it comes to generally, probably where you are.
Yes, generally, if you ask any teacher, any professional teacher will tell you that if they lack resources, then probably it's their TLMs. Because now the curriculum we are using is an objective-based curriculum, which iterates it's termed as a discovery learning. That is, the learners rather bring out, or we discuss in a discussion method in delivering a topic. We discuss whatever the learners know about the topic, and then we relate it to their daily life. So it is not much of us impacting or spoon feeding them, but rather they giving us or bringing out their ideas they know. So we lack the resources. Probably they have it in mind, but they haven't seen
how it looks like.
Yes, they don't have a knowledge about whatever it is.
So you made mention of a TLM. What's the full of a TLM? Because a layman is watching, doesn't know what a TLM is.
So a TLM is just the teaching learning resources. That is the resources or the materials that aid in smooth teaching and learning.
So let's say teacher learner materials. Excellent. So you see, you're talking about teachers having inadequate resources and stuff like that to teach the children. And you know, with all this, I believe they are trying their best, even though they don't have the resources. They are still doing their best to get the children to understand whatever they are saying.
Yes.
And that is basically one of the big challenges that the teachers are having right now. So do you think, with all the stress teachers are going through, do you think teachers are inadequately, or do you think teachers are adequately recognized and rewarded for their role in the nation building or as nation builders? Why or why not?
I don't think so. They are. I don't think
they are not really recognized.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
When we look at other professions, how they are being hailed, that is not how a teacher is being hailed. Even when it comes to our daily life, for you to see somebody in the training college, let's say like a percentage of which I wouldn't want to spell out, would be like, oh, I remember during our training college days, our first year, and during the orientation, there was a session we had, and then they were like, the question they asked was, why did you come to the training college? Or why did you come to teachers training college? If I should specify. And we all wrote our thoughts on a paper, and then it was collected by one lecturer. And then it was placed in the office after they've gone through or they've used it for whatever they wanted to use. Yeah. So along the line or along the years in my stay in the school, I was very good to go. So I was rolling with most of the lecturers. I was free with them, and then even had the opportunity of entering their office, kind of a PA or a TA for them. Yeah. So I chanced upon a paper. I think it was misplaced or something. And then the person wrote that I came to the training college because my parents say so.
So it was more or less like a coercion.
Yes, the person wasn't willing to be there, but because the parents said so, that is why she had no choice than to
be there.
And then another one says so that because there is automatic employment after school.
Okay.
So from there, I was pondering over those. There were a whole lot I read, and then some were so funny. And then I was pondering over it, and I just brought it to my life. I was like, okay, whatever they are saying is cool.
It makes sense.
It makes sense because relating it to my life, I'd also not have the idea of coming to the training college.
You didn't ever have the idea of going to a training college?
Well, from what I remember, they say when I was in primary school, I say I want to be a doctor.
Okay. Yes, as for that one, yes.
But along the line, for that one, I don't remember. It was my elders who were telling me that. But along the line, in junior high school, before choosing my topics as in school selection, during the school selection, I told myself, okay, I want to be a nurse. Then I chose a nurse-related topic. Went to the senior high. Then I said, no, nurse, no. I'm afraid of the cops, so I can't.
You're afraid of cops?
Yes.
But that's a daily something you'll be seeing if you're a nurse.
That was when I found out that even on their first semester, they would visit the mortuary.
And stuff.
All this. I said, no. This one is not meant for me. Then I was there, I developed the speaking skills, and I was like, why don't I try journalism? So it was journalism all this while.
Okay.
Yeah, it was journalism all this while. But after completion and then financial constraint, I had to choose a whole lot of professions that I didn't end up there. But later, I find myself to be a wonderful teacher.
I like that. Well, you didn't end up at any of those professions, but you found yourself in the training college. And was it out of coercion, or was it the only option you had?
No, that wasn't the only option I had. And then it wasn't out of coercion. I saw myself impacting knowledge. Like, it was something I end up loving. Because when we go to the mosques, I tend to teach younger ones.
Okay.
And they started calling me Madam Muni.
Okay.
So from there too, I was also working as a preschool teacher.
Okay, that was after SHS. Yeah,
as a people
that one
teacher.
it looks like everyone that completes SHS is a teacher.
Yes.
And yes, if you had completed SHS and you really wanted work, I mean, you know, that's
because there are a lot of private schools willing to employ us.
That's the first option.
Compare school be child there la. It's school. That's what your parents say.
It's very normal.
But I always fancy a lady wearing safety boots and helmet. Then a reflector.
Okay, so you wanted to work probably in a warehouse and
a construction would do, or architecture.
Okay.
Yes.
So you wanted to be an architect?
Oh yes, but as at then, when my parents understood for me to go into that sector, where they wanted me to gain admission, by then that course wasn't ready.
Okay.
And they weren't ready or willing for me to go far again. As in, then if that's the case, then I had to go to tech. But they weren't ready for me to, gain admission in tech. So I was there, and then I said, okay, why don't I try this teacher's training? Along the line, I was also trying this security as well. Migration, fire service. Yes, I would also pass and then get to a certain stage, but one or two reasons, and then I wouldn't have to continue. I'd have to drop along the line.
So you started?
No, but with the process.
You started the process. So it's more or less like, okay, you were having problems with all the other options, and it looked like this was the only safer place you could just easily enter. I understand.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
And so
it wasn't easy for me to gain admission to college. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, but it looks like all the options you placed your hands in or you touched on, let me say, this was where the grace fell. Yes. And that was where you had to enter, right? Excellent. And so, back to teachers being adequately recognized, what do you think that when it's done, teachers would feel that indeed teachers are being recognized?
Yes, when you are impacting knowledge, it's already not easy for you to impact knowledge. Yeah. But if you should get the aids that you need, it makes impacting knowledge very smooth. And you don't even feel tired when you're having a lesson or you are delivering a lesson, because whatever you need, it is there. Mm-hmm. And then if your learners are also good to go, or they understand and they're able to bring on board many ideas, then you only feel at ease when delivering the lesson.
Okay.
Again, whatever we need, certain things like when we get the parents' cooperation, even though some parents cooperate with us, not all agree with us or cooperate with us. But if the cooperation should come in a different level, as in upgraded level, then it will also aid us in, planning or getting more concept in whatever we are doing or whatever we are delivering. Because you have some parents that they are not even concerned about their child, whether or how the child, maybe in the morning the child will just bath, eat, and then go to school.
That's all they know.
They don't care
whether the child passes, learns, or...
Some of them, I was in a school for 2 years and I never saw a parent of a child.
Wow.
I never saw a parent of a child.
Not coming to visit or check how the child is doing.
Exactly.
In the school or
but throughout the years, we used to have this program we do during our third term, that is a speech day or opening day. The school is open for parents to come in and then ask about the awards, academic stage or levels, and how they are faring. Whatever the teacher also suggests about the child. You know, teachers spend most times with children because you come to school for 8 good hours with a child. So we turn out to study the child more than the parents. Sometimes we end up knowing certain things about the children that the parents are not even aware
because
of.
you know when they go home, because they are with the parents, there are a lot of things they can't do.
Yeah.
But when they come and they are amongst their friends, you sitting from afar can watch and tell how the children, and when it comes to academics as well. So teachers, kudos, you teachers are doing a great job. In fact, I've taught before, as usual, when you complete SHS, it's normal.
Oh, that one is a teaching. That one there. It's everybody's upper hand.
Excellent. So anyway, do you have a personal story of a child you've taught and has made an impact in the society or something? Maybe even in the school itself. Maybe a child you taught who went to stand for maybe a post or something in the school or something. Or you thought was incredibly smart.
Yes,
tell us a bit about
there have been a lot of students like that. I remember during my service days, there was this girl in my class. I was in primary 3.
Okay.
Primary 2, actually, then I took them to primary 3 because at that time, the structure of the calendar was so compressed. So within a year, we could have like 1.5 academic year in it. So during the service year for 1 year, I was in primary 2, and then I took the learners to primary 3 for their first semester. First term. Then I learned.
It's the same.
Yes. And there was this girl who was very hardworking. I think she was delayed in entering school or starting school.
Yeah.
So she was a bit older than the average age limit in the class. And this girl was so good and very forceful. Even words that we are not expecting her to pronounce, she will try using the sounds or phonic blend to pronounce it. And there was a time our school was selected for a circuit competition.
Okay.
Yes. So we have the SPAM program in basic school. That is the school performance appraisal meeting. That is where parents will come to the school and then the records of the school, that is throughout the academic term, the average records from each class is being displayed to the parents for them to know wherever or which class the award is in, whether the academics is going on well or they need to set up or
whether they are going higher or
exactly, so that when they come home, they would also know what to add up to their child's education. So at the end of the SPAM period, we have a meeting or a quiz competition for the learners. That is the upper class, the lower class, and the JHS levels. And we were in the lower class, so our class was selected to represent the lower class of the school. Then I told my class teacher, I think we should add Gloria. And she just looked at me for some seconds, and I said, yes, I think we should add her.
Why did she look at you? Did she feel the child wasn't too good for that or something?
Not too good, but the child was a bit withdrawn.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, so
more or less like an introvert.
Yes, so my class teacher was afraid that she would get there and then she wouldn't be able to talk. Yeah. And I said, no, let's send her. We will pair her with another girl called Sharifa, who is very audible. So when Gloria does the spelling, Sharifa can spell it out for them. And then we will be good to go. And God being so good, she accepted, and then we took her. So after the reading, of which Sharifa and then one other boy did, we had a changeover, and then we brought in Gloria for the spelling and then the mathematics. And she was doing the workings whilst Sharifa was spelling it out. So even if Gloria was not able to spell out, in a way,
she did most of the work.
She exhibited her competencies.
Excellent.
Because she was doing the much of the workload. Because Sharifa was just spelling it out. Yeah. That's
great. That's great. You know, there are a lot of kids that have such things that, yes, they are not outspoken, but when it comes to let's do the work for people to see, or let's do the work and let's see results, you see them work. Excellent. So the conversation is getting more interesting, and teachers as unsung heroes, they are heroes. And when you hear their stories, they're the ones that can tell you stories. You have tickling ears. Because you see, every day they have different stories, because all the kids come with different stories, different attitudes. Every blessed day, there's a new story to tell. And they are the builders of our nation, because without a teacher, there's no lawyer. Without a teacher, there's no president. No, doctors and other professions, name it. There are none of them. And so we're still continuing the conversation, but I want to still remind you that this program is proudly brought to you by DAYSTYLLE Fashion. At DAYSTYLLE Fashion, if you need any kaftan, if you need anywhere for any occasion, any program, you want to look stunning, you want to be the eyeball of everyone, that when you get there, everyone looks at you, please look nowhere else than DAYSTYLLE Fashion. At DAYSTYLLE Fashion, we say every day in style. And FekaTek Ventures for all your Wi-Fi's, routers, and other accessories when it comes to internet. Look nowhere else than FekaTek Ventures. At FekaTek, we say we are here to serve. And also Believe CONCEPTZ for your website, for your apps, and every other thing pertaining to social media, to websites, to graphic design. Look nowhere else than Believe CONCEPTZ. At Believe CONCEPTZ, we say your design solutions. And then we have BUILDAXIS. BUILDAXIS, when it comes to everything, building materials, being it cement, trolley, whatever it is, look nowhere else than BUILDAXIS. They are also consultants when it comes to if you want to buy a land or something and you think you have doubt and everything, or you want them to lead you to get a very good land, you have to look nowhere else than BUILDAXIS. They are consultants in those things. They are very best at what they do. You have a building project. You want someone to build for you. You want someone to help you raise the building, whether you're in Ghana, whether you're on abroad. Look nowhere else than BUILDAXIS Limited, and they are here to help you do the most, and you're going to get a very best and very good work. All right, so we are still continuing our topic, the unsung heroes, teachers as unsung heroes, and helping us do the discussion as we have begun from the beginning is Mrs. Munirat Hassan Bentel. It's getting interesting. And so we are diving in again. And our next question to you, Mrs. Munirat, how do you ensure that students not only pass exam, but also become responsible citizens, value-driven citizens in a society?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Charles. Again, we say teachers impact knowledge beyond classroom. That is, whatever we are doing in the classroom or whatever happens in the classroom environment is being applied in our daily life.
Yeah.
Yes. So we mostly advise our learners not to learn for exam's sake, but learn for their daily life movement. And with that, God being so good, we've had this objective-based curriculum, which it is not as spoon-feeding them as the previous curriculum, the standard-based curriculum. But in this, we only spell out the competencies we want the child to develop in. So as and when you write your lesson plan, you make sure you spell out at least 4 or 3 competencies for the child to be able to develop in. Yeah. And with that, you ensure for it to take place during your lesson delivery.
Excellent.
That is why we do the discussion method with our lessons. We discuss the lesson. So, for instance, we can have a topic, we talk about maybe plants, but you come to the class and not have a teacher write anything on the board apart from the topic, but rather a discussion period between the teacher and the learners, whatever they know or whatever they've seen around their life regarding plants, they spell it out. Yeah.
Excellent. And so I understand that fact where you give the children the chance to explore or voice out whatever they see around. Great. And so about people getting responsible, because when they say we have the home sense and we have the school sense. So in this case, how do the teachers also put home sense to the students whilst in school?
Yeah.
Yes, that's basically what I want to drive at.
Yeah. So, as I said earlier, we, as a teacher, we also look at the ethnicity of the child.
Yeah.
The discipline level of the child. And when you look at the lower classes, there are certain topics that talk about their values, ethnicities, values, and then the tolerance.
Yeah.
And then there are also topics that, in a way, it is telling the child what to do when he or she gets home. Because in the kindergarten level, there is specifically a topic that speaks about how to greet and when to greet. The greetings and the appropriate time. Because a kindergarten child doesn't know this time is morning, afternoon, evening.
Yeah.
So we have this clock timing, and in that we teach how or when to greet at a particular time. So a child is able to go home and then greet good afternoon after school, or comes to school and greet the teacher good morning, madam, or good morning, sir.
Doing the normal sign
Exactly.
by bending or saluting if he's a
Exactly.
guy. Okay. So basically, is that part of the curriculum, or it's just a normal something that teachers do?
It is part of the curricular activities.
That you
Yes.
teach them these moral
Values.
moral values to be very responsible.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so if you have been given the power, my question is, if you have the power to change something in the education system that will empower teachers, it's not just the education system, something in the education, because teachers, they form part of the education system. If you're being given the power to change something in the education system that will empower teachers, what will be the first thing you would do?
I would look at the curricular activities or the curriculum in which they are using. Looking at the time frame, the time being spent in school, and then the load of the curriculum. It's way ahead. Aside that, we don't only look at the curricular activities, we are looking at extracurricular activities. So we also have to designate some of the time to that, the extracurricular activities. And with that, we are not able to complete the curriculum. You know, most teachers are not able to complete the curriculum at the end of the academic year because there are sporting activities, which is extracurricular activities. Now they've brought a cleanup exercise at the end of every month, of which I am the SHEP coordinator in my school. So yes. And then there are a whole lot of activities. They have this menstrual hygiene day. In all this, we are to address the students. And with that, it distracts classes hours. So I think I would look at the curriculum, and then, we would, even if reduce it or sieve it, that would be better.
So it looks like it's too many, bombards the kids with a lot of...
Yes, because somebody in a kindergarten classroom, with that, we have one strand.
Okay.
So when we talk about a strand to be air, then in air, we look at air in language and literacy. We look at air in mathematics, that is numeracy. And then again, we look at air in our world and our people.
Oh.
Yes. So as one strand that cuts across all. That is why we have this diversity in learning. And that is where it happens most especially in the kindergarten classroom. We have one strand that cuts across all the lessons or all the subjects. That's the 4 main subjects in the kindergarten base class.
Okay. So they should cut it down for the kids so that their minds are not
so loaded.
Excellent.
Because
So
at the end of the day, they would have to learn a lot, and then just few questions will come for their examination. Even though they are not learning for exam's sake, but they should be able to understand and then compress whatever they are learning. So that even if they are not able to use the terms that it needs to be used during answering questions. When a fair idea is being given about or is being spelled out in the answers, the child has a fair knowledge. That is why now we don't mark a script according to the terms that or how it's being taught. If the child is able to express him or herself in the exams or in the script, telling you that he knows whatever he's saying he knows whatever he's doing or whatever the topic is about, you have to give him or her the desired mark.
Not really what is in the book or something.
Exactly.
Excellent. It gives them the chance to express themselves.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so my last question for you, how do the government, private sector, or probably community do to better support teachers to maximize their role in nation building?
So government does its part by giving us our daily salary or monthly salary, as said, and then is able to bring out some resources that we need in teaching, or is able to give us the guide that we need for our teaching to be efficient and effective.
Okay.
And then the community also aids in protecting the school environment, because if it happens that your school is in a village or in a community of which there is no security or there is nobody taking care of the facility, then it's been misused. But if a citizen in a community is able to tell you, hey, don't go to the school to play, or don't be mishandling the school properties,
don't enter the classroom when you're
then you know that the citizen is protecting or is also helping out in the education system of the community.
And about the private sectors, so let's say the government is doing its part, and let's say the community also one way or the other does their part. Do you think the private sectors can also do something to better support?
Exactly.
Like
we actually need their help and support. They can come in helping developing infrastructures or the TLMs, as I said, helping us in getting our resources being adequate for the learners to have efficiency in the learning and its effectiveness. Again, they can also develop the schools for government to post the teachers into.
They can develop the schools. Excellent. Great one. So if you are a private sector company or institution, you can also help teachers by, helping, like I was saying, with the TLMs, so that they have enough to be able to teach the kids, as well as you can also help the government to develop other buildings in other sectors so that other teachers can be posted there, so that they would help empower and impact knowledge to our future leaders. Also, soon we are coming to the end of today's show, and I want to remind you also that today's show is brought to you by DAYSTYLLE Fashion. At DAYSTYLLE, we say every day in style. FekaTek Ventures, we say we are here to serve. Believe CONCEPTZ, we say your design solutions. And also we have BUILDAXIS, where everything building, everything construction, everything land consultancy, and everything building materials, you have to look nowhere else than BUILDAXIS. And so today, Mrs. Munirat Hassan, we have you in our midst, and we are glad having you. Please, your last words to your viewers.
Thank you very much. These are the few words I'll say to my viewers. I know whoever is watching, one way or the other, has a child, and I'd like to plead for everyone to, invest in his or her child or her ward, for the child to have the best of education. And then with that, you would never regret. Having everything available to the ward would aid in the child getting to a certain height of which you would be amazed.
Excellent. So as we've seen, teachers might not always be in the spotlight, but hey, their influence is everywhere. Everyone you see has had the influence of a teacher. They build without bricks, they build without hammers, and they lead without thrones. yet their legacy is everlasting. Let us all remember to honor teachers. And as I tell you, teacher is a very good profession. And so if you're out there and you have never thought of it, begin to think of it. That is a very good profession. And like you said, parents, communities, societies, and everyone out there, please, let's all aid in helping the teachers work very easier for them to help build the nation, maybe with the kids, infrastructure, and every other thing, as we also join hands together, including the government and everyone, private institutions, to help build the nation. Until we meet next time, my name is Nanaya Charles. You can call me NYC for short. And this is the National Vibe. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at ADZoone TV. It's a bye for now.